Hello, 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 amigos. Can I get an amen? Can I get a hallelujah? Thank you, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the show with no name. Right now, brothers and sisters, it's time for,
10,
you know
9,
it,
8,
we're going to
7,
do that
6,
liftoff.
5, 4,
We're going to get up off the
3,
ground.
2, 1.
Going to go up to the
0.
heavens.
Ignition. Liftoff.
We've got liftoff, brothers and sisters. Amen. God bless you, Jesus. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to the kingdom of heaven.
Hold on to your hats. Strap on
Amen.
your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show.
Where?
On Vaughn Radio.
Ah, gotcha.
It's a show. It's a show.
Come on, folks. Can I get an amen?
Let's go.
Hello, hello, welcome. You have just witnessed. To witness es ser testigo. You have just witnessed one of the earliest impressions I've done in my life. I remember my mom used to watch those televangelists. And, I mean, I don't know, half of what they're saying is mumbo jumbo and send me money. But I couldn't help it. No lo pude evitar. I mean, I was fascinated by these guys. How they would just grab your attention. Man, unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you've never watched one of these American pastors, whoa. Either they're really good actors or they're really feeling it. They got a lot of conviction. And so I used to go around with a Bible or any book I would find, and I would say, amen, brothers and sisters. We must repent because we are all sinners in the eyes of the Lord, and we will be cast into hell. Hey, that's how you learn. I was imitating. I'm always imitating with you guys and telling you about the power of imitation. You want to sound like me or another native English speaker? Real simple. All you have to do is listen and try and duplicate the sound you're making. That you're hearing, excuse me. You're trying to make the sound. So, you know, it's like when you imitate somebody from a different country. He is a great friend of mine. He's German, and I like him. He's a very, very good friend of mine. His name is Warner, and he is Warner Wolfgang. He's a really nice guy. What you're doing, if you notice, I'm not just pronouncing my words differently, but I'm also putting a different kind of stress on my vocal cords, and I'm speaking in a different rhythm or a different pace. So I love that. One of the coolest things, in my opinion, IMO, about, you know, languages and learning languages, even if it's just learning a couple phrases in a language, it's trying to say it like them. It's imitation. It's the power of imitation. So, wow, we got off to a biblical start. Well, folks, I hope we get off to a great start this week. We're going to kick off right now with our question of the week.
Question of the week.
That's right, amigos, our question of the week. And this is a section where you guys get to express yourselves in English. And last week, we looked at the fanciest place you've ever been. Well, today, I want you to tell me, well, not today. You've got all week. Don't worry. You've got until Friday to tell me where, well, not where. If you started a business, what would it be? Not so much where would it be. So if you were to start a business, estamos con condicionales. I said, if you started or if you were to start a business, es más natural y más corto. If you started a business, what would it be? Have you ever had that idea, that, that epiphany? I mean, let's say time wasn't an issue, money, you just started a business for the hell of it, for shits and giggles. Do you know these expressions? For the hell of it, porque sí, porque no, is more of the thing. For shits and giggles, well, to giggle is reírse. So for shits and giggles es para echarse unas risitas. So if you started a business, what would it be? If you could do your dream business, maybe because you have a great idea, or maybe just because, you could picture yourself, te podrías imaginar en esa situación. Or, a lot of people say, the typical thing I'll say, well, I would run a beach hut or a beach shack or a cabana, we say as well, or a beach bar. Be creative here. I love when they call them a sandbar, because a sandbar is actually something at the sea, but it's got a double meaning. The sandbar. Guys, I'll meet you over at hey, there's a good joke in there. What did one crab say to the other crab? I'll meet you over at the sandbar. You can tell summer isn't too far away. I can't believe it, guys. Can you believe we're already in June? We're in our first week of June. Wow, I hope, as I said before, I hope you guys get off to a good start, because this is like the final countdown, the home stretch, the final stretch, la recta final. Because even though we'll be here in July, I'm taking a few days off to be with my family, but I'm going to be here a lot of the summer. Of course, we will take some time off. The important thing is, guys, you can still tune into our programs. We've got them. If there aren't live shows, you've got repeats wherever you get your podcasts. And I urge all of you, aside from listening, because I know you all listen on a daily basis, I urge you as well to participate in our question of the week. It's real simple, and it's just a way to make sure you're practicing your speaking every day. Well, not every day, so much as every week. You should be practicing your speaking every day. So, summing up, resumiendo, please participate in the question of the week. It's for your own good. I hate to sound like a parent, como un padre, pero es por tu propia bien. Because if what you want to do is improve your English, your speaking, your spoken English, well, then how do you do it? You got to speak. Really, I'm speechless because I don't know what other way to do it. Tell me if you've got any ideas. I'd love to hear it. And if you have any business idea, or if you could start any business, what would it be? We'll take a look at your answers on Friday in our question of the week section. It's a speaking section for you guys. And speaking of sections that we hear people speaking, well, I think it's time for the Say What soundbite. Say what? What? All right, folks. So, yeah, it's about listening and it's about speaking. If you ever hear something interesting here on the Say What soundbite section, well, you know what you have to do? Real simple. Say it aloud. Maybe it's a word you're not familiar with. Perhaps it's, just an accent. You want to try and imitate an accent. Let's imitate a British accent together. Mother, father, brother, sister. And an American accent? Well, that's a very broad thing in both cases. Mother, you better growl at me. Mother, father, brother. Hey, it's the way it sounds. But in the British, it's much more breathy. My mother, my father, my sister. I love this stuff, guys. It's fascinating. The way we sound, you know? This is where language meets music, really. All right, today's Say What soundbite, I don't think it's going to be too difficult. It might be... there are, you know what? There are two words in there that might be a little bit challenging. But you know what? I have faith in you guys. I think you'll be able to figure it out. No sweat. No sweat is sin problema, sin preocupaciones. All right? As always, what I want you to do is I want you to listen carefully, and then I want you to tell me what you heard. I want you to tell me in your best English, be descriptive, and then eventually, hopefully, after the fourth listen, somebody, at least one, two of you, will be able to give me everything that's being said, word for word. So pay attention, folks. Here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
John Lennon said snidely, "Why don't you sit a little closer?" I suddenly realized they were just so naive. They were young. So actually, I fell over laughing onto John's lap.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés.
More information about Weekend Town, urban camps, summer camps, and all that jazz, just go over to grupovon.com/cursos destacados, and then you will be in the know. Estarás al tanto. All right, amigos, are you ready for another challenge? We just did our Say What soundbite. I gave you the question of the week. Now it's time for your pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, my amigos. All right, it's your pop quiz. And today we're going to be taking a look at negotiating. Now, who couldn't use a little help being a better negotiator? Do you ever feel like you get the short end of the stick? Do you know the expression? To get the short end of the stick is in a negotiation, you didn't come out of it favorably. The other person got their way. Se salió con la suya. So we're going to take a look at some different words and idiomatic expressions that have to do with negotiating. And again, this is a skill that can help you in any field. I mean, look at my daughter. She's not even in any field. She's a student. She's in school, and she is constantly negotiating with me. She could be a pretty good lawyer. Man, she really drives a hard bargain. And there's another great expression. To drive a hard bargain means you're a good negotiator. Lara drives a hard bargain. All right, well, let's listen to this excerpt from Natural English. It's available at vontienda.com. And then, as always, I'll have a mission for you. Here we go. Natural English.
Chapter 66. When you're negotiating.
Cuando estás negociando. 4 key expressions.
To lay your cards on the table.
Poner tus cartas sobre la mesa.
To have an ace up your sleeve.
Tener un as bajo la manga.
To drive a hard bargain.
Negociar con firmeza. Saber regatear.
The ball is in your court.
La pelota está en tu tejado.
More useful English. Set phrases. Ups and downs.
Altibajos.
To go out of business. To go bankrupt.
Irse a la quiebra.
To catch off guard.
Pillar por sorpresa.
Vocabulary. Downturn.
Recesión.
Shakeout.
Colapso.
Pronunciation.
Rentable se dice.
Profitable. Exaggerate. To take a hit.
Sufrir un golpe. Asumir pérdidas.
A plea for help.
Una súplica de ayuda.
I'm sorry, Frank, but we're not in a position to accept a higher price on your shipments next year. You know as well as we do that our industry is more vulnerable than most to the ups and downs in the economy. The current downturn is hurting everyone. Our only consolation, perhaps, is that some of the weaker competitors might go out of business, leaving fewer players in the industry. A shakeout, let's say.
But Ben, you also know, as well as I do, that we agreed 2 years ago to cut our prices by up to 15% to help you through that crisis you had when Johnson Tools went bankrupt. We've worked together for years, your company and ours, to forge a solid, profitable relationship. We've been biding our time and even took a 40% hit in our margins. But we can't go on like this. You do the math. We're not just losing money with you, but we're also suffering an opportunity cost. It's a real bone of contention. Your orders take up almost 50% of our production capacity, and that capacity could be devoted to other, more profitable customers.
I understand that, Frank, and you're right. Yes, you're right. So I guess I better lay my cards on the table. We're close to bankruptcy. We've suspended payments to several suppliers, and for the moment, we have no aces up our sleeve that are going to fix this. We employ over 3,000 people, most of whom have kids and mortgages, so we have no choice but to ask you and other suppliers to, once again, help us to get through these hard times. In this case, I'm not trying to drive a hard bargain. This is a plea for help.
Wow, Ben, you caught me off guard. The ball's clearly in my court, and it's not an attractive ball, if I'm honest. Let me talk to my bosses at headquarters, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Hey, Nudge, what are you doing on the 5th of June?
Nothing planned yet.
Okay, well, you know, it's our birthday. We share a birthday.
Yes, of course.
It's super close to that.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we on the 5th of June celebrate our birthday, the lunchtime show, the Pro Bowl show? Let's get all of us get together and do something big. What do you think, Andrea?
I totally agree with that. And I think we have the perfect place where we can celebrate. How about we go to this quaint little place called Real Madrid on Calle Amaniel number 23. What do you think?
Sounds amazing. Let's say 8 o'clock, Wednesday, 5th of June, Calle Amaniel 23. Vaughn Trivia Night. Don't miss it.
Awesome, guys. I will be there. I can't wait. Honestly. Careful, guys. I might be slurring my words. To slur your words is to speak like too much. What did I just say about imitation? How important is imitation? To slur your words, not just to do an accent. I'm not saying we all need to be actors, but hey, if you're telling a story, it's always better when you get into it. So then he said, "What are you doing here?" And I told him, "Get the fuck out of here." You know what I mean? You play the role. Get into it. If you're going to do it right. All right, amigos, I hope to see you there. It's trivia night coming up this Wednesday. It's our June trivia night. And wow, 3 of my best buds. How could I miss it? I usually have a class on Wednesdays, and I talk to my students. I said, dudes, you know, I usually miss the trivia night, but I don't want to miss this one. And they always, you know, they're pretty cool about it. They're like, oh, sure, man, no problem. They don't drive a hard bargain. It's funny. Guy said it in the audio, to drive a hard bargain. What a great, 3-minute audio. Did you guys notice how much vocabulary was in there? How many expressions? It's awesome. It's natural English. You can get it over at vontienda.com. And don't forget, last weekend, no, it's not the last weekend. It's the middle weekend of the book fair. So this coming weekend and even this week, stop by Retiro and you can stop by the book fair. I will be there. I was there on June 1st. And again, thanks to all of you who came this past weekend. It was amazing. I shared a lot of pictures on social media, and I'm really looking forward to being with you guys on the 15th again. But we'll be there this weekend. I won't personally, but if you check our website, grupovon.com/cursos destacados, you can find out when your favorite teachers are going to be there, when your favorite authors are going to be there, signing books. Oh, and don't forget, Dave Boyes, he doesn't just sign books. He'll serenade you. Yeah, that's right. Sing you some songs. All right, here's my homework for you guys here in our pop quiz. The first one is an expression that means to not get to the point. Okay? The point is the main idea. So you're avoiding talking about what you really should be talking about. Okay? Now in Spanish, you say andar con rodeos, irse por las ramas, dar vueltas. So again, go to the point. Esa apúntala si no lo has usado. Get to the point. Go to the point. He has difficulty going to the point. Well, this is the way of saying the same thing, but the opposite, right? Anda con rodeos. And interestingly enough, they both have to do with gardening. Irse por las ramas. Well, the idiomatic expression they used has something to do with arbustos. So it's an easier one to at least associate. Number 2, to have an advantage in a situation. Okay? Sometimes there's a balance there. You need them, they need you, right? It's a service. And other times, somebody has an advantage. Okay? Delantera, it says here. Okay? So, now I didn't know that one in Spanish. Estoy flipando. So, yes, in a situation, you can tener el control, tener ventaja, tener delantera, it says here. It's a really good idiomatic expression that has to do with negotiating. And all of these are in natural English by the one and only Ximena Holiday. And you can listen to Ximena Holiday after our show today at 12:30. She is on the air with Test Your English. And the last one, there was an idiomatic expression that had to do with being undecided. You can't make up your mind. You can't reach a decision. There's an idiomatic expression that we used in that audio. Do you guys know these 3 idiomatic expressions? The first one, andar por las ramas. No ir al grano, to not go to the point. Okay, number 2, to have control or have more leverage when you're negotiating. And the third one is another way of saying we haven't decided yet. Right? We're not sure. And it's a good thing, too. It's a good negotiating technique. You don't want to look too interested, do you? Have you ever gone house hunting? You know, if you tell people, oh, the house is great, they're like, okay, well, then I'm not going to bring the price down. You have to point out the weaknesses if you want to have ventaja en las negociaciones. All right, guys, we'll be right back with that and so much more. So, say it with me, stick around. Welcome back. Welcome back, amigos. It's time for part 2 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Welcome back. It is always an absolute pleasure to have you with us. In this part of the show, we're going to take a look at our homophones. We've also got our Say What soundbite. We've got to take a look at our pop quiz answers. We've got our spelling bee. And so much more, amigos. How exciting. It doesn't have to be another Manic Monday. As I always say on this day of the week, I don't give a damn what day it is. I came here to kick some ass today. Arrasar. And I hope you did the same. No. I know you came to kick some ass. You know how I know? Based on your past performance. You're always kicking ass. I couldn't ask for better students. And I know that many of my friends here at Vaughn Radio share that opinion. So thank you. I mean that in all sincerity. Thank you for giving us so much love. And really, it's not just that you're great students, that you do a great job on the English stuff, but it's that you guys are positive. You encourage each other. I think you are not just wonderful examples of students, but you're also wonderful examples of people. All right, I'll stop. I don't want to get all choked up right now, but we've got a lot to do. So let's kick off the second part with today's homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones.
That's right, amigos. This is where we look at words that are usually pretty short. In fact, I think the trickiest words are not the long ones. They're the short ones, like beach and bitch. Yeah, you don't know how many times I've heard people mix those words up. Beach versus bitch. Guys, it's not the same thing to say Miami Beach than to say it's Miami, bitch. Hey, if you say in fact, I guarantee if you look, there's a song where they say, it's Miami Beach, bitch. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. Oh, man. Come with me to Miami. Party in the city where the heat is on all night on the beach to the break of dawn. I'm going to Miami. Bienvenidos a Miami. Vamos, papi chulo. Again, you want to laugh, but what are we doing, guys? Imitating. Geez Louise, if I don't give you anything today, which we've already looked at some killer vocabulary, take one thing with you. Be an imitator. I've been doing it naturally since I was a kid. Now, obviously, there are always people who naturally have tendencies to do one thing and to do other things. Some kids are very sporty. My wife and I, let's just put it this way. My daughter's 4.5 years old, and she is much more athletic than we will ever be or have been. God bless her. Thank God. We were worried. We were really worried because, wow, we're not the most athletic people in the world, if you know what I mean. All righty. Let's, where were we? I got sidetracked. I had to get sidetracked this. Me fui a la deriva, right? Hey, well, with those waves. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry, guys. Where were we? Oh, right. At Miami Beach, bitch. Homophones. All right. Well, can't you guys feel that? When you're at the beach, there's something you feel, and it's like water in the air. It's, you call it rociada. In America Latina, it's agua nebulizada. Neblina, right? So it's like when there's a dampness, these little droplets in the air. And there's a famous book and a movie called Gorillas in the... So that's the first thing I think of when it comes to mind. But also I think of waterfalls, right? Waterfalls, usually when you walk near them, well, you'll feel a certain rociada del agua. And is there a better feeling than that? Anybody want to go back to Miami Beach with me right now? Oh, especially when it's salt water, because it clears out your sinuses. Oh, man. You can tell, guys, I am a beach bum. Not really. But when you're just like, I would just love to sit my bum in the sand and put my toes in the water. And hey, there's a double trouble, by the way. My bum is mi culete. And a beach bum is alguien que le encanta la playa. Which, as I said, I'm not a beach bum. But, sometimes you're like, well, it's nice in the studio here. And, the microphone and everything, I got my glass of water. But wouldn't it be nicer to have a Corona and perhaps, some Latin music in the background? I don't know. Call me crazy. But I guess I am itching for summer. Realmente me apetece ese veranito. I'm itching for summer. All right. So the second word, the first word, as I said, neblina, rociado, you say? Rociada? Rociada con A. The next one is the past tense and the past participle. So it's both. That would probably mean it's a regular verb, right? When the past tense and the past participle are the same, they both have ed at the end. Well, then that means that they I think almost all the time, sound the same. So this is the past tense and the participle of fallar, errar, to not hit your target, to fail, right? So if you said, ay, Dios, falló el penalti, es ese, falló. You could say, falló el penalti debido a la neblina. Hey, that would be a good way to put them both into one sentence. Those are your homophones, my amigos. Hopefully you'll know them, and if they sound exactly the same or not. Let me give you today's Say What soundbite for the second time.
John Lennon said snidely, why don't you sit a little closer? I suddenly realized they were just so naive. They were young. So I fell over laughing onto John's lap.
All right, there you go. I'm hearing some police sirens in the background over there. All right, let me give it to you again, and then we'll discuss it.
John Lennon said snidely, "Why don't you sit a little closer?" I suddenly realized they were just so naive. They were young. So actually, I fell over laughing onto John's lap.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace. Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit. No doubt about it, my amigos. All right, This Book is the Shit. You can pick it up on the 15th over at Feria del Libro. I'll be there signing it. We can take some selfies and have some fun. All right, well, let's see. Where were we? Right, homophones. I see we've got a lot of people figuring it out. Yes. Just make sure you're not one of those people that says, miss it. I missed the class. Because no, that E is not pronounced. It's pronounced more. Well, not more. It is a T. I missed the class. He missed the penalty, right? Missed. Why? Due to the mist. The gorillas in the mist, right? M-I-S-S-E-D. And it's in the category, remember this, guys, with regular verbs. Here's a little trick, okay? Regular verbs, pronunciation. I'm going to just look for a list so I don't have to make it up here. But we've got, okay, for example, you've got 3 sounds that you'll make. We just mentioned before regular verbs. Well, this is about regular verbs and their pronunciation. What we said is they're ED at the end, but that doesn't mean they're pronounced like that. Unless it's wanted, needed, right? Threaded. It has to start, it has to end with a T or a D sound to pronounce that E. If not, it doesn't get pronounced, right? So wanted, needed. What are other examples here? Let's see. All right. Well, either way, that's the easiest one. The hardest category is the T. So let's practice. I'll say every day I help. Yesterday you say yesterday I helped. ¿Ves qué difícil es? Yesterday I helped. quiero que I want you to overdo it so you can always bring it back. As they used to tell us in acting class. The director would say, you go full force. I'll bring you back if I need to. But if I need to get more from you, right? So go full force. Overpronounce it right now. Did you help? Yes, I helped. Did you look? Yes, I looked. Did you sniff? Yes, I sniffed. Did you miss? Yes, I missed. Did you dance? Yes, I danced. Okay, so that's the T sound. So we've already looked at id, wanted, needed, right? Then we looked at the T sound, and then you've got the D. Called. Did you call? Yes, I called. Did you clean? Yes, I cleaned. Did you offer? Yes, I offered. So you've got to practice these. You can put them into those columns, and it can help you at least visualize that T that should be there, even though when you spell it, as we know in English, it never, ever is. All right, let's go on over to our pop quiz. I see we've got a lot of students participating. Let's get an applause going for them. Great job, amigos. Great job in the pop quiz, and wonderful job in the homophones section. All right, the pop quiz. The first one was to beat around the bush, right? Man, he was beating around the bush. Think about it. Andar por las ramas. We say to beat around the bush. Stop beating around the bush and get to the point. Apréndete las juntas. I wish you wouldn't beat around the bush. He always beats around the bush. I've never beaten around the bush. You could just keep practicing them together. I always go straight to the point. I'm a straight shooter. Esta es otra forma de decir, soy sincero, franco, no ando con rodeos. Piénsalo, disparo hacia adelante. I'm a straight shooter, right? So to beat around the bush. And we learned a lot of other idiomatic expressions with it. To beat around the bush, we just said. To get to the point. And many others that we've looked at. Number 2, to have the upper hand or to get it if you don't have it. Well, I think tomorrow's negotiation should go well. We have the upper hand. Remember, they don't have another supplier. Ellos no tienen otro proveedor. So you say, tienes el mango por la sartén, right? Tiene something like that. A ver, lo voy a buscar en español. Mango por la sartén. Something like that. Sartén. Tener la sartén por el mango. Right? You call the shots. You've got the upper hand. Right? Tener ventaja. It's a great one. To have the upper hand. These are really tough ones, guys, so great job. Some of you are just biding your time. I love that one. That was another one that was in the audio. And it reminds me of the current president of the United States. To bide your time. Pues si lo dices, me pone bidet. Claro, bide en español es bidet. Bidet. To bide your time. It's to wait calmly, to wait your turn, right? I guess Biden was biding his time. Hey, it's a great way to remember it. Ya sabes que los americanos no usamos la G. We don't say biding. No, it's even hard to say. Are you biding your time? ¿Estás esperando, aguardando el momento? It's another thing that comes from negotiations. And the last one is to be on the fence. Eso es. Estás en la valla. We're thinking about signing up with you guys, but right now, we are on the fence. So wonderful job, my amigos. Excellent. Wonderful, wonderful job in the homophone section and also in our pop quiz. But right now, we are going to move on to one of the most challenging sections. You know it. It's our spelling bee. Spelling
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
All right, amigos, it is our spelling bee here on the show with no name, and this is round one. And I was even helping you out a little bit. I've kind of given you a hint. Let's put it this way. The second one, I've already said. So it's a word that I know you're familiar with because I just said it. But I'm going to up the ante. Vamos a subir el listón hoy. And today I'm going to not just give you a word, but I'm also going to give you a corresponding number. These are cities and their populations. All right? It's up to you guys to get them down. If you don't get it on the first go, don't worry at all, because you will get a second chance. And the second time I go, not too slow, but, I take a breath. Respiro. Also, take a moment right now just to remind you guys, too, that last Friday we took a look at crime on FYI. And this coming Friday, we're going to be looking at English in movies. The reason I said music is because there's already an episode on English in music. So I figured it was only appropriate to do one that was English in movies. Coming out this Friday, wherever you get your Vaughn podcasts. All right, here we go with our spelling bee with numbers. Good luck. The first one is, let me take a deep breath, clear my throat. Okay, JACKSONVILLE. And the number is 950,203. The second one is AMI, and the population is 443,665. The third one is TAMPA, and the population is 388,768. The fourth one is ORLANDO, and the population is 307,738. The fifth one is ST period space PETERSBURG, and the population there is 259,343. And the last one is HIALEAH, and the population there is 222,996.
Do you mean business with your English? ¿Vas en serio? Well, if you don't have Kyle Miller's book, Business English, then you are missing out. Kyle's not only an English teacher, but he holds an MBA, and he will guide you through the ins and outs of business and the English language, all while having fun. Business English by Kyle Miller is the most complete English resource available, and it comes with audio and video. Pick up a copy of Kyle Miller's Business English. That is, if you mean business. Available at vaughntienda.com.
All right, folks, and you can probably meet Kyle Miller this weekend or next weekend over at the Feria del Libro Madrid. You know, it's one of our favorite times of year. I'll be there on the 15th of June. It is not this Saturday, it's the following Saturday. I'll be there from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So be there or be square. All right, amigos. Ooh, I'm looking over here. I guess I'm just, I see some of you are biding your time. You're waiting for the right moment, but we can't wait any longer, folks. So it's time for round two. Round two of today's Spelling Bee, and we'll see if you guys can figure it out. The first one is JACKSONVILLE. KSONVILLE. And the population is 950,203. The second one is MIAMI. And the population there is 443,665. The next one is TAMPA. And the population there is 388,768. The fourth one, ORLANDO. I lived there, by the way. If you know me well, there's a clue. And the population in this theme park capital of the world is 307,738. The fifth one is ST period space PETERSBURG. And the population is 259,343. And the last one is HIALEAH. And the population there is 222,996. Folks, I'd love to hang out at the beach here, but we've got to take a quick commercial break. But I'm loving those waves. Oh, man. All right. You know how it works. We'll be right back with tons more. So stick around. Hello, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to this, the third. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe we're in the third part of today's show. It just flies by. Thank you to my amigos. As I said before, I'd rather be at the beach, and I'm not a beach bum, but you guys are making it feel like a fun time. The expression in English is, life's a beach. La vida es buenísima. But be careful, if you say life's a bitch, es horrible. Big difference there. Life's a beach with you guys. Life's a bitch if you live in New York City and you don't make over $100,000 a year, for example. Per person in the couple. What do you think I meant? Per household? All right, amigos. Well, we've got a lot of stuff to do in this part of the show. The first thing we're going to do is take a look at our Double Trouble. Then we've got our Say What soundbite. Then we'll go over our spelling bee words. We've got Name That Movie, famous birthdays. Man, we've got a lot of stuff to cover here. So much fun to be had. And when it's all done, you're lucky. You're in great hands with Jimena Holiday in Test Your English. All right, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's show. Let's kick off with a little challenge. It's today's double trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right, folks, welcome to your double trouble. Hurry up. You're going to miss your train. Hey, we looked at the word missed before in our homophones section. So what does this have to do with trains? Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm just trying to throw you off. No, it does. It does. I'm not that bad. All right, but I'm going to really... All right, you ready for it here? It's a double trouble. So if you were going to sweat before, now you're really going to sweat. But I know you guys can handle it. All right. Se me fue. And it's funny. I learned this expression recently. Somebody said it to me. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know what that means. Seriously. I was like, your saint went to heaven? Wow. We're really talking about heaven a lot since the beginning over here. Maybe I'm having an epiphany. Maybe I'm becoming, who knows, religious again. So, se me fue el santo al cielo. Vamos, que perdí el hilo, ¿no? Lo que estaba pensando, lo que estaba haciendo. Y pensé que había perdido el tren. We already looked at perdido. You should definitely know that one. Okay? So, se me fue el santo al cielo, que me perdí, ¿no? Perdí el hilo. Y pensé que había perdido el tren. Hey, wait, it's a double trouble in Spanish too. Perder, perdido. Well, it's in English a little more complicated. You've got to use 2 pairs of words. Good luck, my amigos. In the meantime, let me give you the Say What soundbite for the 4th time.
John Lennon said snidely, why don't you sit a little closer? And I suddenly realized they were just so naive. They were young. So actually, I fell over laughing onto John's lap.
Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831. Or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. More information at grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. Anybody? All right, well, we'll go back to the spelling bee until somebody figures out our double trouble.
Well, today in history, my amigos, Hernando de Soto claimed a beautiful land full of flowers for Spain. That's right, Florida, or as we say, Florida. Florida. I think it sounds better in Spanish, honestly, but my job is to teach you how we say it too. Y el más difícil, el que a mi mujer le cuesta, is Fort Lauderdale. Menos mal está en número 10 en la lista. Di esto. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. What? Yeah, pues así es. So Hernando de Soto today, in the year 1539, claimed Florida for Spain. So I figured we would take a look at the cities in Florida with the biggest populations. Now, contrary to what I thought, it's not Miami. Miami's huge. It's an amazing big city. But Jacksonville is almost double. You've got double the population. So number one was Jacksonville, Florida. And the population was, voy a practicar ahora en español, 950,203 people. Eso es 950,203. See? Yeah, that's right. All right, the next one, which is, again, I thought would be number one, because we're going in order from most to least here. And number two was Miami. And Miami has 440,665 inhabitants. Now, it's very different depending on the month, because obviously in the winter, the New Yorkers flood there. Well, everybody does. So in Spanish, 443,665. 443,665. So under 500,000. But I imagine like on spring break or like, you know, some holiday week, it's like triple or double that at least. Then you've got Tampa. I love Tampa. Tampa's a beautiful place. I remember going to Tampa and going to Busch Gardens in Tampa. That was awesome. Busch Gardens. Oh, man. Some really good roller coasters, some good food, some excellent seafood. Tampa, Florida. And the population there, 388,768. So 388,768. The next one is the city I lived in, Orlando. That's right. Where Disney, Universal Studios is, SeaWorld, they're all there. It's the theme park capital of the world, Orlando. Oh, and their tomatoes are really good too. All right, that's only a joke you would get in Spain. Orlando, creo que no es marca de tomate frito en inglés. So Orlando, Florida, and the population in Orlando, Florida, is 307,738. Again, on a packed day at Disney World and all the parks, you know, the 4 Disney parks, the water parks, the Universal parks, it could possibly triple that. So that's Orlando, and in Spanish it's 307,738. And the fifth one, St. Petersburg, not the Russian one. This is the Floridian one, St. Petersburg, and the population there was 259,343 inhabitants. And the last one, Hialeah, and that's a weird one, mucho vocal ahí, which, by the way, amigos, excellent job. And the population there, 222,996. 222,996. All right, and also, excellent job in our double trouble. I see we've got some people who figured it out here. Let's take a look. Se me fue el santo al cielo. Again, when I first heard it, I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. Because it's obviously, if you say that, my saint went to the sky or to heaven, you say that to an American, and they're going to think, wow, this person is pretty religious, you know? Well, have you ever seen the movie Upside Down? Upside Down is a great movie. Del revés, I think it's called in Spanish. No, it's not called Upside Down. Perdona, it's called Inside Out. Bueno, ahí ya aprovecho para explicarte. Inside Out, Upside Down. Inside Out, your shirt, right? Your socks. Upside Down is when you go on a roller coaster. Any questions? All right. And in the movie Upside Down, there's a section where they're trying to catch a train and they lose, aunque es raro porque la palabra, cuando pierdes el tren is to miss the train. The expression is to lose your train of thought. Okay, el hilo, la cadena. Think of it. A train is a sequence of things in line. So I lost my train of thought. And I thought I almost missed, que ya sabes pronunciarlo perfectamente, como niebla, and I thought I almost missed the train. The expression to miss the boat, it reminds me of an expression. To miss the boat es perder el barco, literalmente, claro, but also perder una oportunidad. So I remember a girl said it to me once. She said, Alberto, you missed the boat. That ship has sailed. I'll never forget it because I was like, oh, really? You're throwing idiomatic expressions at me saying that we're done here. There's no more hanky-panky. I had a crush on her. Oh, she was cute. Estaba, oh, man. I don't want to talk too much about my past days. And, we had a little fling. Una cosilla, over there. She's a British girl, very posh. And she told me that. And both in the same sentence. I was like, I got you. Loud and clear. Me ha quedado clarísimo. Que no. Vamos, que no. She goes, that ship has sailed. Es una expresión. Esa nave ya se ha ido. That ship has sailed. Or you missed the boat. Ya no tienes esa oportunidad. Se te ha pasado esa oportunidad. But this one is to miss the train quite literally in this expression. So I lost my train of thought. And I thought I almost missed the train. There you go, my amigos. As I said, wonderful job. I think it's time to celebrate in famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays here on the show with no name, and it's awesome. If you're celebrating a birthday and you don't let us know, we are never going to let you live it down. Nunca te vamos a perdonar. Vaya forma más nativo de decirlo. We are never going to let you live it down. So you tell us if it's your birthday, and this way we can sing you a song and wish you a happy birthday here on the show with no name in our famous birthday section. All right, let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. The first person was born in 1925. He was, because he passed away or passed on. Lo más fácil, passed. No? He passed in 2010, but he was an American actor with a career that spanned, and to span is to spread out, to like a bridge, a span, que abarca. We've looked at the word before, 6 decades. So that's not even a question anymore if I like you or if the guy next to me likes you. People like you. You have stood the test of time. And he first achieved major recognition as a dramatic actor in a movie called The Sweet Smell of Success. This was in 1957. But I can't remember the co-star's name. I know what you're thinking. Lo cagaste, Burlancaster. Oh, ahí le tienes. All right, that was a bad joke. Todo para llegar a Burt Lancaster. I know. I need a vacation. All right. The following year, he was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actor in The Defiant Ones. He was also in Some Like It Hot, which is Con Faldas y a lo Loco. Is that what you call that one? He was also in Spartacus, where he played a supporting role in the classic epic drama Spartacus, which came out in 1960. He married 6 times and fathered 6 children. Busy guy, right? Pretty busy guy. And in fact, he was the father of Jamie Lee Curtis. You know, Jamie Lee Curtis, the famous actress, Janet Leigh, Kelly Curtis, Christine Kaufman, who was his wife. So a lot of famous people, not just him, but family members of his that are famous as well. So that is number 1. Number 2, this guy was born today in 1965, an American bassist and vocalist. Remember, bass, Lubina. Bass, el bajo. Very different, even though they're spelled the same. And it's funny because we just mentioned Lubina, but this guy's band, the name of the band is Fish. I'm serious. I didn't do that on purpose. So he is the bassist, he doesn't play the bass, even though the band is named Fish. And if you've heard of this band or if you've seen their logo, they spell it PH, like telephone or pharmacy, Fish. And great band, band that formed in 1983 in Vermont. And they were kind of the successors of the Grateful Dead in what we call the jam bands. These bands that they can just play for hours and hours and not have any lyrics and go off on tangents. Recently, Fish had some shows at the Sphere in Las Vegas, in fact. And I think that's like the perfect band, you know, like Pink Floyd, Fish, these kind of bands where the visuals are important as well. I went to go see Fish once at Madison Square Garden with my friend Dan. And I've got to say, even though I'm not a huge Fish fan, I got it. Lo entendí todo. You know, once the music, they started with a song, I'll never forget it. And the lights came up on the crowd and they said, ga-gung, ga-gung. There was like a bass line, so I guess it was this guy. And he goes, Wilson. And he keeps screaming, Wilson. And the crowd was screaming it back. And it just kicked off. And it was a lot of fun. And last but not least, somebody who knows a lot about psychedelia. This guy was an American poet and writer. My grandfather went to high school with this guy. Yeah. He's best known for his poem, Howl. Howl. And the guy, he even got arrested because of his obscenity. Yeah, that's right. So one of the beat poets, I think one of the classics in the American canon of writers, not just poets and not just, spokespeople, because he was also somebody who had something to say about society. He wasn't just writing poems, and it dealt with sexual repression, drugs, and I see some of you have nailed it. Great job. Number 1, Tony Curtis, actor Tony Curtis. Number 2, Mike Gordon from the group Fish, the bassist. And number 3, Allen Ginsberg, the one and only Allen Ginsberg. And I have a photo. I'll share it with you guys later on. I have a photo of my grandpa with Allen Ginsberg. Not when they were young, I wish. It's a photo of them as they were older. They were at an event for their high school, and Allen Ginsberg was there. And it's cool because I don't know who's got a bigger smile on their face, my grandpa or Allen Ginsberg. So this is Allen Ginsberg in our Say What soundbite. And he's talking about when he met the Beatles, as they pronounce it. And he says, John Lennon said snidely. And do you know the word snidely? Snidely means, if you say something in a snide manner, sarcastic, a little bit like, snide. And he said snidely. He used the adverb, well, because he's a writer. So he says, John Lennon said snidely, why don't you sit a little closer? ¿Por qué no te sientes más cerca? And I suddenly realized they were just so naive, que eran tan ingenuos. They were young. So actually, I fell over laughing, me caí de la risa, onto John's lap. And your lap is your I always forget that word. Voy a buscarlo. Regazo, your regazo. So let's hear the one and only Allen Ginsberg on his birthday.
John Lennon said snidely, why don't you sit a little closer? I suddenly realized they were just so naive. They were young. So I fell over laughing onto John's lap.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And folks, I tried to give you clues all throughout the show. Well, here's a clue. This song is about a train, but I'm going to give it to you because there are many songs about trains, and many Spanish people aren't really familiar with the music of this group. The group I'm talking about is Fish with a PH, and the name of the song is Back on the Train, De vuelto de nuevo en el tren. And we just learned the expression, your train of thought. We looked at it in our Double Trouble. Let's take a look at the lyrics, and then we can sing them together, and then we'll be back with the fourth and final part of today's show. So they start off by saying, when I jumped off, cuando salté, I had a bucket full of thoughts. Tuve un cubo lleno de pensamientos. When I first jumped off, cuando me tiré, al principio, I held that bucket in my hand. Agarré ese cubo en mi mano. Ideas that would take me all around the world. Y cuidado con la pronunciación, no. I've heard people say idea, no, idea. Ideas that would take me all around the world. I stood and watched the smoke behind the mountain curl. And to curl es rizarse. If you have curly hair, tienes el pelo rizado. It took me a long time to get back on that train. Tardé mucho en volver a estar en ese tren. And now I'm gone, and I'll never look back again. I'm gone, and I'll never look back at all. Here it is, folks. It's the group Fish. The name of the song is Back on the Train. You should give them a listen. As I said, not too popular, but definitely an example of a band that has become a phenomenon, and they have people who travel with them around the world. And, what we call a jam band, porque improvisan mucho. They have a lot of songs, but between those songs, they jam. And speaking of jam, we've got a jam to a commercial break. Oh, otra forma de decir pirarnos. Sing it with me. Back on the Train by Fish. Google the lyrics, and we'll be right back with part 4. See, it's got that.
When I jumped off, I had a bucket full of thoughts.
Woo! Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 4 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. I can't believe it. I mean, I know. You're thinking, oh, man. You know, first day of the week. I'm worn out, I'm pooped, I'm exhausted. And, you know, it always takes some time to warm up. But I know you guys are nice and warm, and you're ready for Ximena's program, Test Your English, coming up next after today's show. Don't forget, we've got tons of amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio, and they're all designed to teach you English, to get you excited about English. And all you have to do is download the free Vaughn Radio app, and you can take us with you wherever. If you're looking for materials and you can't make it to the book fair, go to vaughntienda.com. vaughntienda.com. You can pick up all the materials you may need. They all come with audio, as you know, from our pop quiz. Also, if you're looking for courses, don't hesitate. No dudes más. The time is upon us. Se avecina. The summer, it's here. Right? In fact, since today, we were taking a look at Miami. Well, guess where we're going, amigos? We're going on a trip right now. Didn't we say we were going to go to Miami? Well, let's do this. I'm going to take you to Miami right now. In my book, if you haven't gotten it, it's my 4th book. I'm losing track. To lose track, a little bit different than losing your train of thought. To lose your train of thought is, what was I saying? And to lose track is, was it the 4th book or was it the 5th book? I can't remember. Well, since we all feel like being on the beach today, and we were looking a little bit at Hernando de Soto claiming Florida for Spain, I figured we could take a look at Miami, the Miami chapter from my 4th book, English on the Go, Aprende Inglés Viajando por el Mundo. If you don't have the book, it's really cool. I take you to 30 different cities, and we learn English in these amazing cities. We learn by eating, by learning about business, and all that jazz. Enjoy. Hey, Rosanna, thanks so much for meeting up with me here in sunny Miami, Florida.
Hey, Alberto, I'm so happy to see you. Welcome.
Yeah, it's much nicer than seeing each other in the office in Madrid, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, man, I love Miami. This place is hot in every sense of the word.
Yeah, I'm going to show you around. You just wait.
Oh, cool. So what are we going to do? Some shopping, some clubs? I mean, what have we got planned?
Well, I'm going to take you for lunch, and then I'm going to take you to the shops downtown.
Okay.
And we're going to go scuba diving later.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Have you been before?
I've never been. I've always wanted to go scuba diving.
You're going to love it.
Oh, cool. I'm ready to discover Miami, Florida. Hola from sunny Miami, Florida. I fell in love with Miami the first time I came here. Its weather, the Latin flavor, beaches, nightlife, and outdoor activities like diving make Miami one of the hottest destinations in the world. Many well-to-do New Yorkers call Miami their home away from home. Then you've got all the tourists from around the world who flock here every year, in addition to the 5 million cruise passengers who come through Miami annually. Hence the nickname, the cruise capital of the world. Let's cruise around this amazing place. In addition to significa además, y lo usamos bastante en inglés. Pero no te lo aprendas como 3 palabras sueltas, sino como un solo sonido. Decimos in addition to. In addition to. También decimos as well as, e igualmente lo pronunciamos como un solo sonido, diciendo as well as, as well as. Practiquemos las siguientes frases con ambas versiones. Además del Océano Atlántico, Florida tiene el Golfo de México.
In addition to the Atlantic Ocean, Florida has the Gulf of Mexico.
Además de inglés, se habla español en Miami.
English is spoken in Miami as well as Spanish.
Además de tener discotecas de moda, Miami tiene buena gastronomía.
In addition to having trendy clubs, Miami also has great cuisine.
Sé que la palabra cruise no te es desconocida por el apellido de Tom, pero, ojo, pronunciamos su apellido casi igual que el de Penélope. Es Cruz. Ahora, cruise no solo significa crucero, también significa vaguear. He cruised through high school. Vagueó en el instituto. Y por supuesto, significa dar una vuelta, como vimos en el texto. When I got my driver's license, I loved to cruise around. Cuando me saqué el carnet de conducir, me encantaba ir a dar vueltas. Fact or fiction? Sunscreen was invented in Miami. This is a fact. In the 40s, a pharmacist named Benjamin Green developed one of the world's first sunscreens. He perfected his formula experimenting with cocoa butter and coconut oil. His recipe eventually became the most famous sunscreen brand in the States, Coppertone. The company became really famous in 1959 when they introduced the Coppertone Girl. It was an ad showing a young blonde girl in pigtails with a dog pulling off her bathing suit, revealing her bottom. Aquí tenemos otro false friend. Recipe es receta de cocina y prescription es receta médica. Vamos a practicarlo. It's just what the doctor ordered. Nos viene de maravilla. Es mi receta secreta.
It's my secret recipe.
Necesitas una receta para analgésicos.
You need a prescription for painkillers.
El secreto de las recetas de mi abuela es que pone mucho amor.
The secret of my grandma's recipes is tender loving care, or TLC.
Ojo, cuando nos referiríamos al ámbito de la publicidad, no decimos publicity, sino advertising. Por ejemplo, my wife has a degree in advertising. Mi mujer estudió publicidad. Entonces, advertisement significa anuncio. Pero como es una palabra tan larga, la recortamos y decimos ad en Estados Unidos y advert en el Reino Unido. Solo te lo advierto. This is history. Miami is the only major American city to be founded by a woman. It officially became a city in 1896, when local businesswoman Julia Tuttle talked a railroad mogul into expanding his railroad to what back then was her land, present-day Miami. She is both a visionary and a pioneer who saw Miami as a gorgeous yet strategic place to start a city, and she came to be known as the Mother of Miami. There's a causeway in her honor in Miami called the Julia Tuttle Causeway. Aunque el verbo para convencer is to convince, también usamos el verbo compuesto to talk someone into para decir convencer a alguien de que haga algo. Y to talk someone out of para decir convencer a alguien de que no haga algo. Vamos a ver estos dos phrasal verbs que la verdad son bastante lógicos. Le convencí para que viniera a la fiesta.
I talked her into coming to the party.
Me convenció para que no fuera a ese barrio.
He talked me out of going to that neighborhood.
Me voy, así que no me intentes convencer para que no me vaya.
I'm out, so stop trying to talk me out of it.
Fun facts. Since Miami Beach is mostly man-made, its beaches have to be frequently replenished with new sand. It's not just a question of aesthetics, but also of safety, as a larger shoreline will protect inhabitants during hurricane season. Hurricane season lasts from June 1st to November 30th. In 2016, there were a total of 15 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 4 major hurricanes. There's a reason why the team at Miami's university is called the Miami Hurricanes. Unlike the natural disaster, the team doesn't exactly destroy everything in its way. They are just barely in the top 20 teams. Since es una de las palabras que oigo mal pronunciadas since I started teaching, desde que empecé a dar clases. Since significa como, ya que o desde. Practícalo en voz alta y asegúrate de decir "Oh, Sainz". No me importa recogerte, ya que me pilla de camino.
I don't mind picking you up since it's on my way.
La quiero desde que la conocí.
I've loved her since I met her.
¿Cuánto tiempo ha pasado desde tu visita?
How long has it been since you last visited?
¿Te suena la palabra shore, de Jersey Shore? Es la orilla de la playa de New Jersey. O Gandía. I'm not sure which is worse. No estoy seguro de cuál es peor. Pero sí estoy seguro de que shore se pronuncia como shore, con SH. Shore. I'm sure you can pronounce shore correctly. Estoy seguro de que pronuncias shore correctamente. Dig in. Miami is very multicultural, but one of its best-known contributions to gastronomy is perhaps the Cuban. No, I'm not referring to a person of Cuban descent. I'm talking about the world-famous Cuban sandwich. It's stuffed with pork, Swiss cheese, pickles, and mustard. Just don't ask anybody from Tampa, Florida, where it's from, because they'll tell you it's from Ybor City in Tampa. This is nothing new. There's been a decade-long debate whether the Cuban is from Miami or from Tampa. The Miamians deem the Tampa Cubano less authentic because it has mayo and salami in addition to the other ingredients. You can accompany it with a mojito or perhaps a mango daiquiri. Mayo, mayonesa, es una de las cosas que menos me gustan en este mundo. Así que estoy muy acostumbrado a decir, I'll have a Cubano sandwich, hold the mayo. Un sándwich cubano sin mayonesa. Como puedes ver, hold the indica lo que no quieres en tu comida. Vamos a practicar esta estructura. ¿Me pones una hamburguesa sin cebolla?
Can I have a hamburger? Hold the onions.
¿Me pones una pizza con carne sin bacon, por favor?
May I have a meat lover's pizza? Hold the bacon, please.
Me gustaría pedir una ensalada sin aliño ni picatostes.
I'd like to order a salad. Hold the dressing and the croutons.
Nosotros no pronunciamos la palabra daiquiri como los españoles. No decimos daiquiri, sino daiquiri. Y creo que ambos lo decimos mal, porque viene de daiquiri, acentuando la I final, que es el nombre de una playa en Santiago de Cuba. Otra palabra en la que no nos ponemos de acuerdo es quinoa. En España decís quinoa, mientras que los guiris decimos quinoa. Quinoa. Creo que después de unos cuantos daiquiris no lo pronunciarías bien ni en tu propio idioma. Local lingo. In Miami, you don't really need English to get by. Almost everyone speaks Spanish, or at least it seems like that. But it's a far cry from Castilian Spanish. My wife is from Spain, and she's been confused twice by their Spanish, or as some like to call it, Spanglish. For example, when we wanted to withdraw money from the ATM, the screen read, "Remueve la tarjeta." I imagined it meant to remove, sacar, and not to stir, remover. Or at the airport, when we wanted to get our suitcases at the baggage claim. It read, reclamo de maletas. And my wife was like, we didn't lose our luggage. We don't have to complain about it. So whenever I'm here, I find myself translating from Spanglish to Castilian. And if that's not confusing enough for you, there are more than 60 different languages spoken here. And over 150 ethnicities live in this ethnically diverse, beautiful place. Por si no has pillado el Spanglish de antes, to remove significa quitar o sacar, mientras que to stir es remover. Baggage claim es cinta de equipaje y reclamar es to file a complaint. Aún así, siguen siendo palabras confusas. Vamos a ver si lo tienes. Tienes que reclamar.
You have to file a complaint.
Remueve el risotto.
Stir the risotto.
Quítate los zapatos en casa.
Remove your shoes in the house.
¿Dónde está la cinta de equipaje?
Where's the baggage claim?
I was like es una muletilla para decir yo dije. Solemos usarlo cuando contamos una historia, en lugar de siempre decir and then he said o and then she said. Mira, yo dije, ¿de dónde eres?
I was like, where are you from?
Ella dijo, Miami.
She was like, Miami.
Yo dije, yo también. Vamos a tomar algo.
I was like, me too. Let's grab a drink.
Famous Miamians. Pitbull is from Miami. No, I don't mean the dog breed. I mean the rapper. I call him Miami's Midas, and you can imagine why. Pitbull repeats Calle Ocho in his songs over and over again. It's an homage to his stomping grounds. Calle Ocho is 8th Street in the Little Havana neighborhood of Miami. There's a yearly festival that takes place here where they do the craziest of things. Miami is a city full of superlatives, so let's look at some that happened here in Miami. Stomping grounds es literalmente la tierra que pisoteas, o que pisoteábamos de jóvenes, y se refiere a la tierra en la que crecimos. Por ejemplo, she loves going back to her old stomping grounds. Le encanta volver a donde jugaba de niña. ¿Te acuerdas de cuando hablamos de los comparativos? Pues ahora tocan los superlativos. Para los adjetivos de 2 sílabas, no acabados en Y, o 3 y más sílabas, empleamos most más adjetivo. The most interesting person I know is my wife. La persona más interesante que conozco es mi mujer. Ahora, para los adjetivos de una sílaba o 2 sílabas acabadas en Y, añadimos la terminación est o iest. Tienes razón, mejor verlo en ejemplos. La conga más larga del mundo constó de 119.986 personas en 1988.
The world's longest conga line consisted of 119,986 people in 1988.
La piñata más pesada pesó 10.000 libras en 1990.
The heaviest piñata weighed 10,000 pounds in 1990.
El puro más largo del mundo se enrolló en Miami en 2000.
The world's longest cigar was rolled in Miami in 2000.
Hello, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Music to my ears. One of the most famous people from Miami is Gloria Estefan. She's been an artist, philanthropist, and champion for Latin culture, especially Cuban in Miami. She's bilingual. There's just one problem. Her song Conga is so fast that nobody knows if she's actually speaking English, Spanish, or gibberish. See if you can learn the chorus. Be warned, you'll have to practice this one a few times till you get it right. If you manage to get it, send me the video via Twitter @I'm Alberto Alonso. Come on, shake it, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try to do that conga beat. Bilingual es bilingüe, sí, pero no se pronuncia bilingual, sino bilingual. Como prefijo en inglés, bi se pronuncia bi. Practiquemos, como siempre, con otros ejemplos.
Biology.
Biología.
Bisexual.
Bisexual.
Biodiversity.
Biodiversidad.
Bionic.
Biónico.
Bilateral.
Bilateral. What the Facts. The ATM, pronounced ATM and short for Automated Teller Machine, was introduced at one city bank in Miami. It was a way for rollerbladers and skaters to conveniently take out money on the go. Now, there are over 3 million of these cash dispensing machines all over the world. But why is it that every time I need one, I can't find one, or they're out of order? Si has visto la señal out of order, ya sea en Estados Unidos o en el Reino Unido, te habrás dado cuenta de lo que significa. Significa fuera de servicio. Y al verlo, por lo menos a mí, se me suele escapar un me cachis. To be out of order or to be out of line también significa pasarse 3 pueblos. Vamos a ver ambos usos. I promise not to be out of order. Prometo no pasarme 3 pueblos. La máquina expendedora está averiada.
The vending machine is out of order.
Te has pasado 3 pueblos con ese comentario.
That comment was out of order.
No me creo que el portátil no funcione. Esto es un desfase.
I can't believe the laptop is out of order. This is out of order.
Tell me the movie. And action. The movie Scarface was filmed in Miami for the first 2 weeks of its production. But then the crew started getting a lot of heat from Cuban American associations for the movie's portrayal of Cubans. They had to relocate to LA to finish filming there. Oliver Stone wrote the movie while he was recovering from his own cocaine addiction. I'm glad he didn't blow it. Por si no pillaste el chiste, to blow es soplar. Y si te acuerdas de Blow, la película con Johnny Depp, verás que también es una forma de llamar a la cocaína. Sería como decir farlopa. Y to blow it es cagarla. If you do blow, you will blow it. Si tomas farlopa, la cagarás. Good sports. When I say Miami Heat, I'm not just talking about the sweltering temperatures. I'm also referring to the basketball team. In general, people in Miami are health nuts. But you'll find a bit of everything, from beach bums to gym buffs getting buff. Heat es calor y hot es caluroso. Eso me recuerda una expresión: if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. Si no aguantas la presión, vete. Vamos a ver otros ejemplos con heat y hot. No aguanto este calor.
I can't take this heat.
Hace demasiado calor.
It's too hot.
Mucha gente no puede con la presión laboral.
Many people can't take the heat.
In good company. I'm not too keen on fast food, but if you're in a rush, it comes in handy. The first Burger King opened in Miami in 1954. 3 years later, the company launched the now iconic Whopper. It was sold for a not-so-whopping 37 cents at that time. The burger is fit for a king or a queen. La hamburguesa es apta para un rey o una reina. A ver si vas pillando mis chistes. Whopper es una hamburguesa bastante tocha, ¿no? Y whopping es gigante. O sea, se podría decir que the Whopper is a whopping burger. Otro ejemplo. He paid a whopping $8 million for his house. Pagó la cantidad astronómica de $8 millones por su casa.
Okay, Alberto, are you ready to go scuba diving?
Yeah, but I've got to be honest. I'm a little bit nervous, but hey, stick next to me. Don't go too far away, and I think I'll be okay.
Don't you worry.
All right, let's get in the water. Scuba diving. Scuba significa self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
Scuba stands for self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
Nunca he hecho buceo.
I've never gone scuba diving.
He de admitir que estoy un poco nervioso.
I must admit, I'm a bit nervous.
Miami es conocida por los barcos naufragados que hay bajo sus aguas.
Miami is known for its many underwater wrecks.
Hay más de 50 sitios donde bucear.
There are more than 50 dive sites.
Puedes encontrar tanques, aviones y barcos debajo del agua.
You can find tanks, planes, and ships underwater.
No tengo traje de neopreno.
I don't have a wetsuit.
Es el arrecife más colorido que he visto.
It's the most colorful reef I've ever seen.
Wow, Rosanna, I have to say that was an amazing experience. Not just the scuba diving part, it's always great when you try something new, but just discovering Miami with a Floridian like yourself.
Aw, I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, I had a blast. Thank you so much.
No problem. Well, have a great rest of the trip.
Yeah, we've got a lot more cities to visit. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.